Hi, welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute little overlap wrap dress step by step. So hit the subscribe button below your screen and let's proceed. So guys, for today's pleated overlap wrap dress tutorial, the first thing you need is your basic dress block. And guys, one point to note, the thing is, I'm not going to show you how to draft the basic dress block. It's something I don't do in my tutorials because it's an online course. It's a paid online course for my paying students, my paying clients. So if that is what you're looking forward to in this video tutorial, sorry to disappoint you, but the basic dress block is not going to be shown. I'm not going to show you how to draft that. So let's proceed with today's tutorial. Now this is my front basic dress block, and the first thing I'm going to do is to decide how long I want the dress to be. And for me, it's going to be about 36 inches, because if you look at the design, you would say that it's a short dress. So yeah, pretty much. Now I'm going to label this. I'm going to label the upper part and the lower part, and then I'm going to cut it up in the middle at the waist. After cutting, I'm going to keep the upper part aside, and then we'll start with the lower part. So I'm just going to locate the center of my skirt, and that's the middle line of my skirt right there. So I'm just going to split that into two because I don't really need the full complete skirt for this. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of pattern paper to the side, and then at the hem, that's my hem level and that's my hip level. At the hem, I'm going to extend the line from there, and then also mark about 4 inches out from that point. Then I'm going to reconnect back to my waist level. Now on my pattern, I'm going to measure down about 2 or 2.5 inches, and that's it right there for me. And then I'm going to measure 3 inches in from there, that is from the side of my pattern. Then from the hem also, I'm going to measure about 9 inches in, and then I'm going to just connect all the lines. So yeah, so I'm going to blend the sharp points right there smoothly with my French curve, just so that I can have a smooth line right there. So that's what I'm doing right now, and that's it, that's done. So that's now the outline. Now I'm going to label it A and B. So now I'm just going to add allowances to my pattern now. 1 inch at the side, 1 inch at the hem, and ½ inch at the waist level. Then I'm going to cut out all the excess paper off of my part. Now I'm going to split my pattern into two parts, A and B. So I'm cutting out A right there, and then we'll be left with B. So I'm just going to close my dart because we don't really need the dart. And if you look at the design picture, you would see there is no dart on the lower part of the dress. Now I'm just going to draw in about 2 to 3 slash lines into A right there. Then I'm going to get a new blank piece of paper, and then I'm going to spread out all my cut out slashed pieces. I'm going to spread them out on this new pattern piece. So you can spread as much as you want depending on how full you want that part, that is the A part, to be. And this is it for me. So you can spread by 2 or 3 inches. It all depends on you. So I'm just going to add the ½ inch allowance to the top right there, and ½ inch also to the inner part right there. So now I'm cutting out the excess paper and we are done. So yeah, so everything we did to this front lower piece, you also have to do this exact same thing to the back lower piece. And this is everything cut out on my fabric. So yeah, that's my front and back B part, and that's my front and back A part. So the A part, I have 4 pieces of that. So 2 for the front and 2 for the back. So basically, and yeah, that's that for the lower part of the dress. Now let's move to the upper part of the dress. First things first, I'm going to extend my dart line from my dart point all the way to my shoulders. Now I'm going to decide how high I want my sweetheart neckline to be. That is my neckline, and for me, I just measure 3 inches from my armhole level. Then I'm going to connect from that point back to my actual armhole. Now at the center of my pattern paper, I'm going to decide how low I want my neckline to be. So for me, from my armhole level, I just decided to measure about 1 inch up, and then I just connected straight to where I started drawing from before. Now at the side, from your armhole level also, you can just measure maybe 3 inches or 2 inches down. It depends on you. You can decide to measure lower than that, but for me, from my armhole level, I just decided to measure about 3 inches down at the side. Now I'm just going to connect my neckline down to that point. So pretty much now at my dart line right there, I'm just going to measure about 1 inch out on both sides. Then I'm going to reconnect back to my bust point. Now I'm going to measure 3 inches from my armhole level. That's that point right there. And at the other end, that is at the other side of my pattern, I'm going to measure about maybe 4 inches out. Depends on you. So you just measure 4 inches down from the top of your neckline down. So now I'm just going to connect both points together with a straight line. Then I'm going to start drawing in slash lines into my pattern now. And the first slash line I'm going to draw is one that will touch my bust point right there, and that's it. Now I'm going to draw in another slash line, and that's that. Now the next thing I'm going to do, if you look at the design, the dress, you would see that there are straps on it. So if you want straps, just like measure in your strap onto your pattern, and whatever you mark in, remember to measure it and write it down somewhere, and that will be known as your front strap length, because you'll be needing it later if you're going to add a strap to your dress. So you will have to add the front strap length and the back strap length together to get your full strap length. So yeah, but me, I'm not going to really I'm not going to be sewing a strap to my dress, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's my front strap length right there. Now I'm just going to cut all the excess bits of paper that I don't need anymore. I'm just going to cut that out right now. And then now I'm going to slash my first slash line. I'm going to slash it open. That's it. I'm going to cut one leg of my dart. So you slash it up to your bust point right there. Now I'm just going to close in my dart now, and then the dart space will be transferred to my first slash line. So pretty much that's that. So I'm just going to blend that part and cut the little excess bit showing. I'm going to cut that out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to draw one more slash line at the top right there, and you can see that's what I've just done. Now everything I'm going to be doing from now on is going to be a little bit more technical, so please just watch closely. So now after drawing my drawing this slash line, I'm going to cut it open. So I'm just going to cut it. You can see there's a small dart right there. I'm going to cut one leg of that dart. You can see that. Then I'm going to close it, and that has been transferred right there. So now I'm just going to continue cutting that slash line, and that's done. Now the next thing is to cut that part, that line there. I'm going to cut that and leave that right there, and then I'm going to cut my dart and close it. So I'm going to do the same also for the second dart right there. Just cut that and close that part also right there. So now the next thing to do is to just spread out all my patterns. Now don't forget to spread or to cut open that slash line also right there. Now let's spread it all out. So I'm just going to get a new piece of paper, and then I'm going to lay my pattern paper and spread out all the lines. So that's it pretty much. I've spread that out. So just pleats the drapes, to pleats all the spread open parts so that you can just connect it nicely. So you can see what I'm doing. So now I'm just going to cut that out and then cut this bit also out this way. So right now you just need to add your allowance: 1 inch at the side, ½ inch at the waistline, and then quarter-inch at the neckline. So I'm going to cut all of the bits of paper out right now. So yeah, excess cut out. So pretty much, so that line right there, I'm going to split it into two. So just cut it out. You can see that. So and that's that. So just leave it. You understand why I did that later when we are sewing. Now let's move to drafting our back pattern. The back pattern is really easy and straightforward. So just get your basic back pattern and go to the center line right there. Decide how low you want your back pattern to be. For me, I just wanted it at like 1 inch down from my armhole level. You can go lower than that if you want. Then you're going to reconnect that back to your actual armhole, and that's that. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of dart shaping for my back dart. So at my dart point right up there, I'm going to measure out ½ inch from both sides, and then I'm going to just draw a straight line back to each of my dart leg. So pretty much that's that. So when you're sewing, you just like sew your darts that way. Now I'm just going to just add my allowances, but before I do that, remember the strap length. You need to draw in your strap now and measure what the strap length is, because you'll be adding that to the front strap length. Now I'm just going to cut my pattern out, and that's that. So when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this pattern for the back. And these are my pieces cut out of my fabric. So I've decided to use 2 different types of fabric for my pattern, for my dress rather. So the green one is the Ankara fabric, and the other one is just the basic plain calico fabric. So yeah, these are my 2 front wrap pieces. Now let's move straight to sewing. Now starting with the front lower piece, I'm just going to lay it out and then sew it this way. So you gather the top right there and then sew along the panel lines of your skirt. So I hope you got the drift. So just watch me sew it and then you figure it out. Starting with the first side panel, I'm going to begin my sewing from the hem. You can see, so when I get to that point right there, I'm just going to kind of turn my Ankara to fit into that point. So you can see what I'm doing. I fitted it in. Now I'm going to begin gathering my Ankara fabric onto my calico fabric. So pretty much that's that, and that's that for the first side panel. Then you do the same also for the second side panel. And once you're done, this is what your front lower piece is going to look like. And then you do the same also for the back lower piece, as you can see that I've just done too. Now let's move on to sewing the upper overlap wrap pieces. For the upper wrap pieces, you can see I've already sewn in my darts, as you can see right there. Now remember that line we split open earlier when we were working on our front wrap patterns. Well, that's the line I'm working on right now. That's the line I'm finishing up with my lining. So I just placed my lining and my actual fabric right sides together. Don't get confused. I cut my lining on the same fabric as my actual fabric. So yeah, so I'm just going to like place it right sides together and sew it all the way round. So you can see I'm just sewing it by a 1/4 inch all the way around, and that's done. So now I'm just going to go to the neckline also and sew my neckline also round right sides together. So the basic idea of what I'm doing is just to finish and knitting up all the rough edges. So yeah, so those are my darts right there, and the next line is the line we split open earlier, and the upper part there is my neck line. So I'm just going to do the same thing also for the other wrap piece. That is the second one, the Ankara wrap piece, and then I'm going to turn it inside out and iron flat pretty much. And this is it turned inside out. So now what's next now is for me to now pleat my fabric, because remember all those slash lines we drew on our pattern earlier when we were cutting our patterns. All of those slash lines were for us, where the purpose was just for us to be able to pleat our fabric later. So it was needed for you to have like a pleat space on your fabric when you're sewing. So yeah, pretty much. So all you have to do is to just remember to notch in all of the pleat points, that is all of the slash lines that we add on our pattern. Just need to remember to notch them up on your fabric so that you know where you're going to pleat your fabric, so you know where exactly you're going to pleat when you're sewing. Now I'm just going to pleat my fabric accordingly, and by the time I'm done, I'm going to have about 2 to 3 pleats, or 1 to 2 pleats. I think 2 to 3 pleats when I'm done sewing. So yeah, you do the same also for the other wrap piece. So you begin to pleat according to where you notched on your fabric, and really that's done. Now I'm just going to lay both wrap pieces on top of each other now, and then I'm going to pin that part down. Now we are moving to the technical part, so please pay close attention. So what I'm going to be doing is to lift one flap of the wrap and stick the second flap, flap. I'm going to stick it right underneath it, and so both of them is going to like cross over each other. I hope you got the drift. So just try it out and you would understand. So pretty much it's just about it all overlapping. So really that's that. Now and now that's done. That's all you need to do for the upper piece. So now you just place the upper and lower piece. You place it right sides together and then you sew at the waist line. Then you do the same for your back pieces too. So when you're done, all you have to do is to just lay your front and back patterns, or your front and back pieces rather, just lay them right sides together and sew by 1 inch at the side. Then you fix in your zipper at the back and that completes your dress. Just see how pretty it all looks. So now I'm just going to put this on my miniature mannequin right now, just so that you can see what the full fit is going to look like. Gosh, it looks so pretty. I want to wear it right now. Too bad it's just a miniature because it's really, really giving. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button below your screen, guys. Tap the like button also and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming tutorials when I post them. Don't forget to try out this tutorial. It's really simple and straightforward. All you have to do is to just put your pen to paper and try it out. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.